Greetings everyone, GleeCon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. We've just about finished our campaign, the Horde campaign on Beyond the Dark Portal expansion to Warcraft 2. Got one level left to go on that. You could argue that we could finish it now because it doesn't really happen in Chronicles. The way it was described was, and in the novel, the way it was described was that they just took the portal, took the stuff and left. The final level is them fighting their way through the portal and then leaving. That doesn't actually really happen. There is a battle to secure the portal. Yeah, so we'll just kind of do that as we go, you know. We'll do that on the next couple Let's Plays. We'll do that from the Horde side and wrap up that campaign, and we'll do it from the Alliance side. And there might be like some stuff that touches on it, but yeah, we're a little bit more than halfway through that game. So stay a while and listen to this one. It's called The Sons of Lothar. Let's see. We've already had that nomenclature used. The survivors, the veterans of the Second War, refer to themselves as the Sons of Lothar. So that's already been discussed in the novel. Gorfine suspected that after the Horde's latest attack on Azeroth, the Alliance might seek to invade Draenor. That's a pretty big leap of logic, but I guess if you knew you could just get through the portal. He left behind a large number of soldiers to prevent this from happening. This force was composed mainly of Warsong orcs, led by Hellscream, along with the Mok'Nathal Rexxar. And that guy has not been mentioned in any of the novels or the games, so I wonder why they've retconned him into Chronicles here. With this small army in place, Gorfine and the rest of the Horde returned to Draenor. Their departure was noticed by the Alliance, and it did not bode well. Based on what he had learned from Archmage Antonidas and Garona, Khadgar began piecing together the Horde's objective. Some of it was incomprehensible to him. He knew of dragons, but Deathwing was not a creature most mortals were aware of. But all of it seemed sinister in nature. Khadgar only learned the true scope of the Horde's plans after the Alliance captured a Death Knight. The Archmage bombarded his prisoner with arcane magic, forcing him to reveal all he knew of Ner'zhul's intentions. At last, everything was clear. Ner'zhul and the Horde were planning to escape their dying world by creating new portals, and they had stolen the artifacts to do so. When Khadgar told Turalyon of what he'd learned, they both agreed that they could not allow the Horde to invade another world. No other land should suffer as Azeroth had. Yet it was possible the Alliance's other heroes wouldn't feel the same way. Launching a campaign into Draenor would require an army, and casualties would likely be high. Turalyon and Khadgar both feared that there might not be much of an appetite for battle among the soldiers who had already spent years fighting to protect Azeroth from the Horde. And that's a valid point. I mean, you can defending your own land is one thing, but then taking it on the offensive on the principle that we can't let them thrive and do this to others, I mean, that resonates still in modern wars even throughout my lifetime. It was time to find out. Turalyon raised his banner declaring that he would lead this army, the Sons of Lothar, into the Orcish homeworld and end the Horde forever. Not all of the Alliance's soldiers answered the call, but most did. Nearly every one of the Second War's most revered heroes, including Illyria Windrunner, Danath Trollbane, and Kurdran Wildhammer, brought their forces to Nethergard Keep in preparation for war. Garona wanted to join the expedition force, even if it was only in secret. Khadgar knew he could use her knowledge of Draenor to his advantage, but he had a different task for her. They both knew that members of the Shadow Council were still alive in Azeroth. He convinced the half-orc to stay behind, hunt them down, and kill them all. So I believe that's another thing. I feel like I've read that somewhere else before, that Garona assassinated all the Shadow Council people. I don't know if I saw that in a video or just one of her quests. I don't know, but I feel like I knew that was part of what she did. The Sons of Lothar smashed through Hellscream's warriors, forcing them to scatter into the far corners of the Blasted Lands. With the way clear, the Alliance expedition force marched through the Dark Portal and laid eyes upon Draenor for the first time. The sight shocked them. They stood on land that had once been Tanan Jungle. Now it was Hellfire Peninsula, a barren wasteland of red earth stretching endlessly into the distance. The Sons of Lothar faced no real resistance in those first days. The Orcish forces had not expected to be chased back to Draenor, yet word of the invasion soon spread throughout the Horde. Yeah, so that's a lot to unpack, a lot that happens. I don't know if the novel is going to be able to get through all of that in just one chapter. But I feel like once we read the majority of that in the novel, even some of it, we can finish off the Horde campaign and probably do at least the end of the first act for the Alliance too. All right, we got this episode in the pipe, 5 by 5. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys next time on Lore of Warcraft.